Alright guys, welcome to Red Resort. Today we're going over the stretch goals for Star Citizen. Now, I came across this the other day doing another video. I've always known it existed, I've just never really took the time to look at it. And obviously, as soon as it opened up, I was like, holy buckets. Some of these are amazing and a little bit funny and a little bit depressing, but there's also a lot of them that it would be good to see coming to the game eventually, and quite a few that pose some significant questions. So now I'm just going to pick out, the ones that I find interesting because, as you can see, there are quite a lot, and some of them are just like the Anvil Gladiator. So I'm going to pick and choose, but I'm going to start right pretty much at the start, because these ones they're just so alien to me. Citizens with appropriate packages will get to play in the multiplayer dogfighting module, and obviously when you start with no game, getting to play any kind of game would have been a big thing, right? Citizens with the appropriate packages will receive access to the 30 mission Squadron 42 campaign upon release. This was one of the first goals, and I'm very happy to say that this year that dream might actually come true. It's an exciting time. Cockpit decorations, bobbleheads, photographs, dinosaurs, fuzzy dice, nose art, posters, and many more cool options. Yeah. Gimme. Bobbleheads is like one of my favourite things in the whole game. Shipboarding. Wow, that was like really early that was planned. I honestly can't wait for this to be fleshed out. It's gonna be one of the biggest things. I'm looking forward to this more than crafting, more than bases. It's when the space game becomes a freaking space game, and it'll eventually tie in this FPS world that's been built that can transition into flight together. And of course you can board right now, I know that, but it's lacking in a lot of ways, and it really needs tightened up and to become something that we can do in PvP and PvE on a regular basis through missions and contracts and things like that. I don't know what the hold up is, but if I was to guess, I would say possibly getting live bounty capture into the game, where you're actually arresting people, putting them in pods and delivering them to detention facilities. Maybe there's some function of the new command module modularity that's coming in that needs to be addressed for when two ships connect, could be. And the hacking, breaching gameplay is also a factor. Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in the future for this game. A lot still on the horizon that gives me a lot of hope. Citizens with appropriate packages will receive access to the Star Citizen universe with 40 star systems for persistent online play upon release. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep this video positive. We're not going to talk about that. Oh, never mind, looks like we are. A new star system will be added to the game for every $100,000 pledged. Odin, Tyrol, Kellogg, Goss, Orion, Ellis, Cathcart, Tal, Geddon and Kronos. And it might seem scandalous that that's not happening anymore, but we've got to remember at this point none of these had landable planets and things like that. I don't even think that was a plan at this point. I think the plan at this point, and I don't really know, so somebody can correct me, but I'm pretty sure the plan was just to have space. The planets would be there, but you wouldn't be able to land on them. And then all that changed. So obviously this has been cut back significantly to flesh out all those landing zones and places of interest. And I think that's a good decision. I think I would prefer landable planets. It just adds so much to the game in so many ways. Like the richness that's been added from just that is, the significance can't be understated. The beauty can't be understated. And then that started to gain granularity and more focus. The individual places that you can visit got more complex, the weather got added, and the terrain keeps getting updated and things like that. So yeah, it was a good direction. Professional mod tools will be provided free to all players. That's possibly for Squadron 42, 60 star systems, and will feature an additional playable ship class, the Cruiser. Ooh. All backers before October 29th, 2012 will start Star Citizen with a Class 1 repair bot in their garage. 500 credits, extended hardcore flight sim controller support, flight chairs, multiple monitors, track IR, MFD and more on launch. Oh yeah, it just means Star Citizen will support all these things. I'm not sure how it's going to support flight chairs, but I guess you could say it supports all these other things. 2 new additional base types, Vandal trading posts and hidden smuggler asteroids. Ah, cool. Well, I think we got those. Vandal trading posts would be awesome. And an additional alien race, I'm not even going to try that. The Karthak maybe. Enhanced boarding options, melee combat, heavy weapons, zero gravity simulation, suit HUD options and EVA combat. They're all in the game. A tablet companion application to check on your inventory, commission or find missions, and get the Galactic newsfeed. So that's something you download from the Play Store on your mobile or tablet and it feeds into the game. I would love to know if that's still planned. That'd be cool as hell. Especially if it went a bit further and you could do engineering and stuff on it. Star Citizen will launch with 70 star systems. I'm assuming this just kept going up and up. An alien derelict. Exclusive record breaker ship skin. Somebody's gonna need to tell me what that is. Or if it even exists. I need to see this skin. Holy shit, it's in the game. Just got released. Damn. Oh. When did they say the new Aurora paints are coming? Is that a 4.7 thing? Yeah, it must be a 4.7 thing. No credit card was about to start a mutiny there, I think. Star Citizen will launch with 100 freaking star systems. Bengal will be unlocked for persistent universe play. That's gonna be nuts when people are knocking around with Bengal carriers, by the way. Bengal carrier shows up, everyone in the vicinity just dies of frame loss. Squadron 42 and Star Citizen will feature a full orchestral score. They have been doing good on that front. One thing you can't say about this game is that the music is lacking. The first Squadron 42 mission disc, Behind Enemy Lines, will be available for free to all backers who pledge before 6 million upon release. I wonder if that's still going to happen. You actually get sent a freaking, what was it, a floppy disk at this point? I'm kidding, I'm fucking kidding. But even the CD is still just as preposterous. It would be good to have as a collector's item though. This must be their first mocap studio. Move CIG Austin to a larger facility that will support expanded development. This is July 2013. Build professional sound studios. Hangar module will feature Oculus Rift support. They came good on that. Oh, here we go. Command and Control Center. Supervise the battle from the deck of your Idris or destroyer with advanced CNC packages that will allow you to tie all of your ships together and assume central command from the third seat. I'm speechless at that one, to be honest. That would be so freaking cool, but I'm pressing X on that one, I'm sorry. I've got to press X on that one. It just seems too complicated. I mean, it depends how easy you could do that. If they eventually get to the point where we can place markers in the freaking game world, then sure. If you're in a party with 6 ships, I can see a menu where you select a ship under your command and give it a waypoint, or a fire command, or a defend command. Behind the scenes of Star Citizen documentary film. That's going to be a riot. One thing I will say is they've always had a capacity for self-realisation and taking the piss out themselves for when they do things wrong. And there probably will be a lot of that, but there'll be a lot of praise due as well for what they've accomplished. It's going to be I can't wait to see this. This will definitely be a thing. I sincerely hope so. Star Citizen will feature a 4th land-out option on Earth. Where will it be? London? Berlin? Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. I always knew Sol was one of the star systems they were talking about. How the hell would they do Earth now? Unless they do an Area 18 scenario where Earth is just a freaking technological ball. That's going to be very, very hard. Because even ArcCore right now is a bit of a cheat. Like, it's just completely pointless rendering a whole planet out of unlandable metal. You know, at least have a few green zones or normal locations, because right now it's mostly a waste of space, to be honest. And I get why it would be restricted airspace, but it's a bit of a cop-out, isn't it? So I'm guessing this would be the same sort of idea. Earth in the future is hard to imagine, but I think tactically they will dodge this one for as long as possible. I hope so, I really hope they do attempt it, but how they approach it is going to be questionable no matter how they go about it. Every backer will get a free digital 42-page upgrade handbook manual with their game, which goes through the process of customizing and overclocking ship systems. Arena mode. Train Sim allows pilots to test out their combat skills against friends or strangers in a simulation, gain valuable combat experience without the downside of losing your ship in the game universe. Place bets on competitors across the galaxy. Yeah, this came up recently in another video where I think somebody had suggested being able to drop into Arena Commander from say, your hangar whilst you were waiting for ships. And somebody else commented that the VR devices that you can find in Microtech in the shopping centre, that's what they were originally designed for. I don't know if that's true, I'm just relaying what they said. So possibly that was an intention at some point, maybe, possibly still is. That would be so cool. A laser pistol at 16 million. Every pledger who backs before 17 million will receive a ship upgrade package containing an engine modifier. For which ship are you talking about, sir? All of the ships, because flight blades are a thing now, and that is going to be a lot of flight blades. The battle cruiser. The fact that the battle cruiser is still under consideration means all of these things in this list are still under consideration. I think they want to try and hit as many of these goals as possible, and the only ones they will shy away from are the ones that became physically impossible, like 100 star systems. An exclusive star system for pre-launch backers. Okay, I take it back. Like, only players who support the game before its launch will receive the computer coordinates needed to allow their jump drives access to this system. Holy shit. Bro, you cannot do that. Oh my god, the forums would have a freaking meltdown. Oh yeah, we just spent half a year making this relatively little star system, but you know, only people that pledged before 2013 are allowed to access it. That's wild. That right there, that's freaking wild. I don't even know what to say about that one. Fuck. Well, I hope they're going to go back on that one. But then there'll be guys from 2013 going, nah. We want our fucking star system. Ah, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. Manage space stations. Players will compete to own and operate a limited number of space stations across the galaxy. Yeah, that's coming. It's not limited anymore though, and they'll be org owned. But that's a good point. Like, if you wipe out an org, what's to stop you from taking that space station and holding it? These are the big questions. Oh god, could you imagine though? Two of the biggest orgs managing to build space stations, and then one org beats the other org and then just locks them out of their own space station. Eek. First person combat on select lawless planets. Don't just battle on space stations and platforms, take the fight to the ground. Salvage mechanic. Salvage isn't an aside, it's a career, with its own mechanic, story tie-ins, and universe-shaping endgames. Search the galaxy for a host of valuable and interesting secrets, using both the flight and FPS components. Discover the secrets of the ancient Hadesians, locate valuable components and cargo, or go down in history as the first to make contact with an entirely new alien race. Yeah, I can see ways that that's all possible. The first person to make the jump in Star Citizen made history. They got named in the community. So when a new system opens up, first person that goes through there will go down in history, I suppose. And everything else is totally doable. Universe shaping endgames is a bit of a stretch, but we'll see. Facial capture system. That's still in the game. It's actually quite a cool little thing. I like that that's in the game. VoIP. Xian Scout unlocked. Car2Al. A public transportation system. We're building a galactic transportation system, so you can travel via transport from system to system in Star Citizen, and even ship items, like a ship you need moved to another hangar. With this stretch goal, we'll expand this system. Starliners, long-range transports, charter ships, and flyable shuttles. Oh my god, that would be the best thing ever. Being able to move your resources around and just pay for that would be a massive change in this game. And then think of all the options you would have for getting back to your ship if you died somewhere, if there was a taxi service. Yeah, and this was touched on recently, so hopefully this is gonna happen at some point. It might have even been mentioned to be coming for 1.0, if I remember right. Enhanced capital ship systems. In addition to the command and control systems we've already outlined, we're going to expand capital ship functions. Lead a damage control team to fight fires and repair key systems during battle. Control internal bulkheads to slow borders, and man a number of consoles like navigation and engineering that will make commanding a capital ship feel even more immersive. Oh, we getting there. We getting there on that. Bit by bit. Banu Merchantman unlocked. 27 million stretch goal. The RSI Orion, the Aegis Surveyor. The Surveyor, from noted military contractor Aegis, is an industrial quality salvage ship. It's an industrial quality salvage ship. Oh, this is a reclaimer, I think. Equipped with a reinforced cargo bay, a long-range jump drive, and launch pods for unmanned drones. Yeah, reclaimer's a far better name. It suits the aesthetic more as well. The TAMSA system. Located near the fringe of Banu space, Tamza system features a massive central star that has collapsed into a black hole. Only 2 planets remain in the system. That sounds like one they could knock out in half a year, or less, possibly. The Tanga system. At the heart of an unusual rectangular planetary nebula, the inner planets were engulfed when the star entered its red giant phase. The expanded habitable zone unfroze a small world on the former outer ring, and for several 100 million years made it habitable. Life began to emerge, and was just reaching a primitive state when the star collapsed into a white dwarf. Throwing the planets back into a deep freeze, and blasting the atmosphere away with the resulting planetary nebula. So another dead system. Never mind. Here's an inhabited world in the Kano system, or Sano, classic water world. It's not breathable, gravitationally locked, so mostly ice. Microorganisms in the oceans. No future terraforming planned. But we've seen what's happened in Nyx, so who knows what can change. Oh, here's a cool one. 2 white dwarfs and an active pulsar orbiting one another. Got a bit of a 3-body problem going on here, and nobody knows what's there. Oritani system. Surveyors noticed nothing of immediate importance. Only 1 planet seemed to be viable for terraforming. When a team was sent with the families into the system to start processing, the one and only jump point to the system collapsed. Most believe that without support, the initial terraformers probably died out, but no one really knows what to expect on the other side if that jump point ever reopens. That's wild. That would be cool. Advanced procedural generation will be necessary for creating entire planets worth of exploration and development content. I mean, this has just went from strength to strength, to be honest. There's nobody doing planets like Star Citizen does planets. There's no getting away from that. Additional funding from the 42 million level will go to expanding the website area of the Galactopedia. Expect to see holographic ships, items and navigation interface in 3D. Imagine admiring your ships or planning your loadouts right here in the RSI website. Yeah, that one never quite panned out, let's be honest. At least you can mostly do it in the game now though, a lot of that stuff. Wait a minute. Every player who backs before we hit 42 million will start the game with their own visually distinctive Mobiglass Exoglass rig, which can be used to access the Observist at any time. Holographic ships, tech, items and navigation interface. Yeah, I mean it exists, but it's one of the worst things ever. I suppose that's not necessarily true. It looks okay. The navigation system looks fine, but there's certain things about it that just are a bit buggy, and the fact they've opted to make it both a ship map and then that springs out to orbital is more of a nuisance, especially if you're just trying to see something locally in your surrounding area around the ship. Yeah, it still needs a bit of work, but it is pretty cool. The backer exclusive Mobiglass kit will come preloaded with additional galactic information the new players would ordinarily need to explore or barter to fill out. Oh yeah, there you go Chris. It's our way of honouring the information you've collected about the Star Citizen universe through the RSI site and community over the past year. I wonder if they'll honour that one. So us noobs will need to walk around and find traders and stuff to get the information filled out on our Mobiglass, but some early backers might have some of that information loaded already. I'd actually be fine with that, that's kinda cool. Towel. And of course, everyone who backs before we hit 42 million will also receive a towel for their hangar. Don't explore the galaxy without it. I'm confused, is that innuendo from all the beautiful galaxy we'll be looking at? We'll need that towel? I'm gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. Let's forget the towel, the 42 million towel, and move on. It's maybe a joke that I just don't get. Stellar cartography. Walk among the distant horizons you've charted in Star Citizen's dedicated map room, featuring a 3D holographic representation of the known universe. Your map room will start with a basic guide to the United Empire of Earth, and will expand into something that is unique to you as you explore uncharted worlds and discover new secrets. Build the most in-depth universe map possible and show it off to visitors, or lock down your secret jump points and hidden trading posts so that no one else can follow. Interface directly with the Observist guide to find out everything from what ores are in demand on MacArthur to who serves the best pasta on Terra, and with the ability to leave your own notes about your encounters and travels. It's more than a map. It's your digital diary. Well, that sounds awesome. That would be great. I would love that. Especially like finding out what ores are in demand from either stellar cartography or the Mobiglass. Be very interesting to see how they handle the jump point thing as well, because I'm guessing there'll be limited time transient things that are just there and gone. Updated scanning software for prospecting asteroids above and beyond their baseline systems, providing the operator with a composite sketch of potential ore deposits. Yeah, I don't know how you guys find the scanning for salvage and mining and stuff like that. I mean, it works, but it could be cool if they updated it to be more specific for that purpose. Because I think right now we're using certain signature sizes and things like that to work out what is actually hidden within certain targets. And that itself is kind of cool. But I feel like the scanning itself could be more, I don't know, intuitive and yet still more gamified in some way. But I don't use it a lot, so I should probably not comment. Engine tuning kit. This kit comes with everything the fledgling engineer needs to take a deeper look into the mechanics of their engine. With a tap analyzer, you will be able to view your engine's current output and energy draw in numbers in an easy and comprehensible way. Use the 38-piece Omni tool to access your engine to start tweaking. Wilson Federman is not responsible for damage incurred after tuning your engine. Yeah, that's a funny one. But as far as I'm aware, that's still coming. We haven't heard anything about it for a while, but not only will you be able to craft ships in certain ways that will change aspects, but your components will be craftable in certain tiers as well. I'm pretty sure we've been told that you will be able to tune things. I thought that was going to be part of engineering, but so far in engineering it just seems to be you can make a few profiles that adjust the pips, which is definitely underwhelming, to say the least. So hopefully there will be some form of overclocking and stuff like that. Whether that comes with crafting, I'm not sure. A Xian space plant, similar to a bonsai tree. Blossoms for one night every 100 years. Okay. A web-based known universe map. That will be the Arc star map, I do believe. Which is currently not. It is currently not. Moving on. The BB-12 is a brand new manned maneuvering unit from Azure Sky Aero. Whether you're engaging in precision mining operations or delicate salvage retrieval, the BB-12 is capable of EVA operations for 6 uninterrupted hours. This new model features 24 precision nozzle thrusters and 2 redesigned heavy-duty tanks of gaseous nitrogen propellant, capable of being hot swapped while on the drift or refueled back on the ship. With the BB-12, Azure Sky has once again cemented their place as the premier EVA tech provider. Now, I wasn't sure if this was a flight suit or a small mech of some kind. Now, somebody actually told me what this was. Oh, there it's there. It was a personal jetpack. Personal freaking jetpack. What? Oh, we need this shit. Maybe that's why they slowed EVA down. Oh, imagine they just dropped this out of nowhere. The BB-12 personal jetpack. I would definitely need that towel if that happened. The Independent Arbitrators Guild. Okay, what? Have you been wronged by your superiors? Has the member of your organisation entrusted with watching the funds been watching them go into their own pocket? Think you don't have any recourse? You're wrong. Fully licensed and bonded to work within the UEE and beyond. The Independent Arbitrators Guild allows citizens and civilians, we don't discriminate, to file complaints against or within private organisations. Petition cases with our IAG representatives to have your voice heard and restitutions made. Is your business less than legitimate? IAG is only here to judge the matters you want us to. Confidentiality is guaranteed. What the Well, you better watch yourself, Dominus, who is our current banker for the Elysium Fire Org. We apparently can independently arbitrate your ass, mate. So yeah. What even is this? This is mental. This is just mental. Is this a joke? Or is this real? It would be mad if CIG set up a thing where they could intervene in police org business. Holy crap. I don't even know what to make of that one, to be honest. I don't know if it's real or not, or intended to be real. There's some weird shit in here. More detailed AI activities. We'll add 10 distinct types of AI character roles on planet-side environments. At 54 million, this includes bartender, doctor, entertainer, nurse, sanitation worker, security guard, shopper, tourist, vagrant, and vandal. Future AI roles will be added with future stretch goals. Each additional class of character will be fully expressive and have a role to play in Star Citizen's planet-side interaction and the game's greater economy. Woofed. I mean, anyway, I don't think I need to say anything here. The Misk Endeavour. a dedicated research platform capable of carrying a dozen different space science packages, running the gamut from advanced long-range scanners for jump point identification to additional shielding for near-stellar coronal research. Near-stellar corona research. The mind boggles. The mind boggles completely about just the whole science career path. I mean, I get exploration, where you could go out and find samples, right, for science. But is that science? Technically that's exploration. And that would be a bit of a too big overlap. So what would science be? And how would you make it entertaining and engaging gameplay loop? Perhaps it's going to be one of those things that just overlays everything else. A bit like crafting, or more like a sister to crafting. You know how you can upgrade blueprints by repeatedly making the same thing? Well, perhaps there'll be ways to refine certain gems and things like that by running experiments multiple times, and I don't know. Maybe that's what science is. It's not like an activity in and of itself. So say you had a Moshi plague farm on your Endeavour, and every crop you got, you ran them through some analyzer or something, and it increased your yield or your material level for the next batch. So instead of getting rubbish Emoshi Plague, you'd get tier 1 Emoshi Plague, or a lot more of it. But yeah, I'm open to ideas on this one, because I find it difficult to imagine it being a separate game loop on its own, but more of an additional status that can enhance your upgrade path. But I could be talking smack there, to be honest. Externally, the Endeavour is dotted with sensor hardpoints. Internally, the main compartment is centred on a large research laboratory, which can be configured for use by a wide range of scientific disciplines. The Endeavour's main compartment is modular, allowing an alternate configuration as a Hope-class floating hospital. When outfitted as a hospital, the Endeavour's docking bay is capable of maintaining a single Cutlass Red ambulance. The Endeavour has also found its way into the service of less reputable organisations, where it can be modified for everything from narcotics production to black market surgery. Narcotics production, there's a good one. That's kind of cool. You can grow your own drugs. Black market surgery though, a bit more vague, you could say. Anvil Aerospace Crucible. It can use magnetic grapplers to attach directly to a ship hull. The workshop actually opens to space and allows a repair crew direct access to a damaged ship. The workshop can either maintain artificial gravity or allow for zero-G repairs operations. Listen to this though, carefully. The Crucible is also part of a larger planned repair system. For larger projects, independent sections of support struts and drive units, called the Miller ERS, external repair structure, can be locked together to form a sort of scaffolding around a damaged starship. The next best thing to an orbital dry dock. The standard ERS unit includes a small drive, thrusters, magnetic attach points, and modular hardpoints for mounting tractor beams, repair tools, or weapons. ERS segments each have a code defining their shape, straight sections, left turns, right turns, etc., with multiple layouts allowing extensive zero-gravity construction as necessary. In the case of damaged capital ships, like the Navy's Bengal carriers, hundreds of ERS units might be formed into a latticework serviced by a dozen or more crucibles. WTF. Ain't no shot. Just, I can't see this one coming out as that's been described. In fact, I'm not even sure I would want it to come out as it's described. That sounds just far too complicated and pretty much unnecessary. But, you know, this is not a ship I own, so I have no skin in the game. There's a lot of talk of people repairing the ship. I would have hoped it would be the ship repairing the ship. Again, so strange. But we're only in 2014, so you just got to imagine how much has changed in that time. It's like 12 years. And if I was going to bring out this ship, I would make damn well sure that its function wasn't just to clamp ships whilst players flew around an EVA to repair said ship, or nobody's going to buy it. It would be cool if it could do that as well. I'd like you to tell me why I'm wrong about this. And you'd have to be careful about the sizes of ships it could repair and the speed that it could repair them. Otherwise, massive ship battles could end up just being endless, with the Crucible just jumping in and out, repairing a ship, jumping out again. There's a lot to consider with this one, but I would not be happy with a Crucible that did not repair ships automatically in some sense. Obviously, we'd love a minigame in there, but that does not seem to be the direction CIG is taking for most of these interactions. The Asperia Prowler. and the Genesis. This is another one that's quite hard to imagine how it will function when it eventually comes into play, given how derpy NPCs and stuff can be. If I was CIG, this would be a dock, press a button, and then the people just appear, but you have no access to your ship during that time. So, you know, they just get teleported into seats, and then you can take them wherever they're going, and they teleport out. You basically have to leave the ship, hand in the mission, and then they'll teleport out whilst you're at a terminal somewhere. Which I would be fine with that. But you never know. The AI has came on leaps and bounds over the past couple of years, so pets. We have repair bots, we have fish, but we haven't implemented a traditional pet system in Star Citizen yet. At 64 million, that changes. From Jones the Cat and Alien to Battlestar Galactica's Daggett. Pets have a place on board starships. Yeah, but are you going to do zero-G pets? Because that would be interesting as hell. And we want to give you that option in Star Citizen. Expect traditional terrestrial options, plus anything exotic we can dream up in the Star Citizen universe. This stretch goal is in honour of Paddington, strike dog of the UEES Paul Steed. In one of our first videos, Paddington helped us get to 4 million back in the initial campaign, and sadly passed away recently. 07 Paddington, you will live on in legend in this game. Definitely a topic that never gets brought up a lot, or not since I've been playing the game. Could be pretty tricky to tackle, I would say. But I have high hopes for this one. Enhanced ship modularity. This is the final entry, and possibly even the most important. So you have the ship of your dreams, but really wish it could be customised to suit your needs a bit more than the off-the-shelf models. The new goal, a massive undertaking, is going to be of interest. We are looking to overhaul any suitable ships, including the Cutlass, Avenger, Retaliator, Redeemer, to allow many modular components to be available as swap-outs. For example, if you have purchased a Redeemer, then using the new system, you would have a variety of new modules available to refit the ship, internal and external, to suit your play requirements. If you wanted to make it a bounty hunter ship, you could buy a stasis chamber module for the lower deck, and you would be able to capture and store fugitives to be delivered for their bounties at your leisure. You could configure the upper deck to be outfitted with a long-range communication suite, allowing you to keep in touch with your info agent even when in deep space. Fed up of bounty hunting, swap in a larger cargo module in the lower deck to make that profitable run you've been planning for a while. Or add the Explorer module with deployable vehicle for some planet-side recon. Manufacturers will still be offering pre-configured variants, but should you be looking to adapt a hull to suit a certain task, then your ship has come in and is now ready for modification. Now, I'm just going to put this out here. I get the feeling that quite a few of the things mentioned there have changed in a rather concrete way, but I'm basing that off just what some guy told me one time when I asked about it, because a lot of people out there will have watched far more episodes of Star Citizen than I'll have seen, and it's maybe been brought up and they've maybe said modularity is no longer planned for X and X ship, okay? But we had a discussion the other day, in the last video in fact, where somebody brought up the idea of taking something like a Cutlass Black to Cousin Crow's, paying some money and putting forward some resources to get it outfitted into another variant like the Cutty Red or Blue. And it was a pretty cool idea. And we were also saying that with ship crafting coming in, it's not always going to be feasible or even desired for a lot of players to want to build a base with a fabrication hangar. So either some NPCs or specific landing zones in the game offering a service of ship fabrication might be a necessary thing. And that doesn't really necessarily tie into this modularity question, but if you think as you're going through that process, you get to pick and choose which variant you would like to build, and then you also have the ability to scrap that variant for parts and rebuild the other variant, then you could argue that there is a distinct sense of modularity in the game. So, I don't know. Hopefully they'll introduce something like that. But yeah, that's the end of this list. That was interesting as hell to me. I've never read all that before. I read a couple of it the other day and was completely blown away. So hopefully some of you found that entertaining. And none of it is meant at a dig at CIG. We're all aware things change. And in the majority of cases, it's been for the betterment of the game. I know we're laughing and stuff about things that got said, but there's no way you run a game for 12 years and not say some things that never materialise. This isn't a video about holding feet to fire or anything like that. I just find it interesting, and I really hope that comes across. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again sometime. 07 guys.